The safest small towns to retire? Guess what? They're nothing like the overhyped, overpriced destinations you're probably thinking of. Let's be real for a second. Most retirees hear retirement and think beaches, golf courses, or endless bingo nights. But what if I told you there are secret spots out there? Places so safe, so peaceful, and so downright affordable, you'd be kicking yourself for not hearing about them sooner. You see, these towns don't need glossy marketing campaigns or fancy PR teams to make them seem appealing. They're the real deal. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, right. These must be the types of places where nothing ever happens. Well, that's exactly the point. These towns have figured out the balance between peace of mind and community spirit. They're tucked away from the hustle and bustle, offering low crime rates, affordable living, and a slower pace that'll have you wondering why you ever thought you had to live in a city to enjoy retirement. But here's the kicker. You won't find these places on your average best retirement towns list. Why? Because they're the hidden gems that most people overlook. Or worse, don't even know exist. Welcome to Restful Wealth, where we believe retirement should feel like a breath of fresh air, and not a mortgage nightmare. Stick around because we're about to reveal a list of towns that may just make you rethink everything you thought you knew about retirement. Hit that subscribe button if you're ready to discover towns that truly welcome retirees with open arms and without draining your savings. Number 10. Camden, Maine. If retirement had a movie set, Camden, Maine would be it. This harbor town looks like it was handcrafted by a New England artisan with a passion for sailboats, bookstores, and things that smell like fresh-baked bread. Tucked along the scenic coast, Camden isn't just easy on the eyes, it's easy on your entire nervous system. Seriously, just try stressing out when your backyard is Penobscot Bay and the loudest thing around is a seagull with boundary issues. Let's talk vibes. Camden is quintessential Maine. We're talking lighthouses that could land a calendar deal, boats bobbing in the harbor like they're posing for an oil painting, and a sailing culture so strong, even landlubbers start talking knots and keels within a week. But Camden isn't just about looking pretty. This place is retirement with substance. The town's bustling food markets are filled with local produce, cheeses that require pronunciation practice, and enough fresh seafood to make your cardiologist fist pump. Want to support small businesses while also pretending you're in a Hallmark movie? Hit the artisan stores, where you'll find everything from hand-carved wooden bowls to sweaters that practically whisper, "I summer in Maine." Now, for those of us who break into a sweat just looking at Florida, Camden's cool, coastal summers are the ultimate heat antidote. You can ditch the sunscreen overload and the bug spray arsenal. Camden keeps things refreshingly breezy. And when you're not soaking up sea air, you can cozy up in the town's charming libraries, attend literary events, or join a book club, where the biggest drama is whether you like the ending or not. Oh, and let's not forget the kayaking. Penobscot Bay is basically your backyard, offering easy access to serene boat tours and paddles through postcard-worthy coves. Retirement cardio, anyone? So, if you're craving a retirement that's equal parts salt air, storybooks, and sea-to-table seafood, with a side of nobody's in a hurry, Camden, Maine might just be your kind of peaceful. And yes, it's safe, friendly, and just quirky enough to make life interesting. Number 9. Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Welcome to Eureka Springs, Arkansas, where the streets are as winding as the conversations you'll have at the local crystal shop, and every building looks like it's holding on to a fabulous Victorian secret. Tucked into the heart of the Ozarks, this town is what you'd get if an art colony, a history museum, and a wellness retreat all got together and decided to raise a very quirky, very lovable child. First, let's talk architecture. Unlike your average cookie-cutter retirement towns, Eureka Springs is stacked, literally, with Victorian-era buildings climbing up and down dramatic hills like they're in a period drama with zero budget for flat land. It's walkable if you're into cardio, scenic no matter which way you face, and charming enough to make even your grumpy cousin say, "Okay, this is nice." Now, if you're the kind of retiree who thinks art should be everywhere, including your coffee shop, dentist office, and mailbox, you're in luck. Eureka Springs is a thriving art colony, with local galleries tucked into every creaky building and artists who probably also read your aura on the side. Speaking of auras, yes, this town is unapologetically woo-woo. You'll find crystal shops, healing retreats, Reiki circles, and more yoga than you can shake a sage bundle at. Whether you believe in chakras or just enjoy the incense, there's something soothing about a town that believes in aligning your spirit and your furniture. But beyond the incense and artistry, there's a strong, beating heart here. Community. Eureka Springs is proudly inclusive and LGBTQ-friendly, offering retirees a safe, welcoming space to just be themselves, sparkly, spiritual, quiet, loud, or somewhere in between. And in a world where many small towns still think diversity is 2 types of pie at the church bake sale, that's no small thing. Of course, the Ozark Mountain backdrop doesn't hurt either. Dramatic hills, lush greenery, and nature trails that practically beg you to trade your TV remote for hiking boots, or at least a scenic drive. So if you're looking to retire somewhere that's offbeat but beautiful, artsy but accessible, and welcoming in all the right ways, Eureka Springs might just have your next chapter waiting. Crystals optional, good vibes guaranteed. Number 8. Saratoga, Wyoming. If peace and quiet had a mailing address, it would probably be Saratoga, Wyoming. This is the kind of town where your biggest decision of the day might be whether to stargaze before or after your evening soak in a natural hot spring. And yes, those hot springs are right in the middle of town, open to the public and absolutely free, because apparently heaven does exist, and it's geothermal. Saratoga is what happens when a true Western town refuses to sell out to big box development or high-rise condos. Instead, you'll find small ranches, cowboy culture, and more boots than sneakers. It's not the kind of place where you rush to make a brunch reservation. It's the kind of place where time slows down, and you're totally okay with it. Now, before you run for the hills at the word Wyoming, let's clear something up. Yes, it gets cold, but not bone-chilling, frostbite your eyelashes cold. Thanks to the dry climate, winter here is surprisingly manageable. That crisp, clean air feels more like a refreshing slap in the face than a soul-crushing freeze. Bonus: no humidity means your hair won't frizz up like a startled poodle every time you leave the house. And if you've ever wanted to feel like you live inside a planetarium, Saratoga's night skies deliver. With practically zero light pollution, you can actually see the Milky Way. No telescope required. It's one of those rare places where looking up at night is part of the local entertainment. Trust me, Netflix has nothing on the galaxy. Social scene? Think more friendly wave from across the fence than wild block party. It's a slow-paced, solitude-friendly town, ideal for folks who value peace, nature, and maybe a few deep conversations with their dog. It's quiet, like pin drop, hear the elk breathe, quiet. And for many retirees, that kind of serenity is exactly the dream. So if the idea of trading traffic noise for bubbling hot springs and bright city lights for stars you can actually name sounds like your kind of retirement, Saratoga is calling, and it's doing it very, very softly. Number 7. Pella, Iowa. If you ever wanted to retire in a storybook, but on a budget, Pella, Iowa might just be your next favorite chapter. This town is so charming, you half expect a Disney princess to pop out from behind a tulip bed holding a tray of almond pastries. Pella is famous for its Dutch-inspired everything. Architecture, festivals, bakeries, even the window shutters have flair. Walking through town feels like you accidentally booked a one-way ticket to the Netherlands, but forgot to leave the Midwest. The Tulip Time Festival alone is enough to make you feel like you're living in a Hallmark movie, only with more wooden shoes and fewer romantic misunderstandings. And let's talk food. If you're the kind of retiree who lives for carbs, honestly, who isn't? Then you're in luck. Dutch bakeries, cheese shops, and old-world cafes are scattered all over town. Fresh pastries, flaky crusts, rich cheeses. This isn't just food, it's edible therapy. Sure, you might need an extra walk around the immaculately clean town square afterward, but hey, balance. Speaking of clean, Pella is so well maintained, it practically sparkles. You won't find litter here. Just neatly trimmed hedges, manicured lawns, and sidewalks so spotless you'd hesitate to drop a crumb. The town is like your overly tidy neighbor, but in the most lovable way. The centerpiece? A fully operational historic windmill that stands proudly downtown like it's auditioning to be the town's mascot. It's beautiful, it's unique, and it screams, "We take tradition seriously here." And that's really the heart of it. Tradition, faith, and family are woven into daily life. The community is tight-knit without being nosy, supportive without being smothering. It's the kind of place where neighbors still check in, where front porches are used for more than storage, and where you'll be invited to church potlucks, whether you attend or not. Pella is peaceful, proud, and perfect for retirees who want a town that feels both grounded and gracious. If you're looking for tulips over traffic and baked goods over bustle, Pella might just be your slice of heaven. With a side of Dutch apple pie, of course. Number 6, Franklin, North Carolina, where the air is crisp, the mountains are majestic, and the stress just melts away. If retirement for you means trading chaos for calm and crowds for clouds that lazily drift over scenic mountains, then say hello to Franklin, North Carolina. This little Appalachian gem is nestled in the heart of the Nantahala National Forest, which sounds exotic, and it is. It's also incredibly peaceful, and frankly, way too pretty for how affordable it is. Let's be real, Franklin is the kind of place where people still wave when they pass you on the road. At first, it might feel like they're mistaking you for someone they know. They're not. They're just friendly. It's unsettling at first, and then deeply comforting, like warm banana bread on a cold day. Franklin has long been known as a gem mining town, literally. Retirees can dig for actual rubies and sapphires, because why not spend your golden years trying to dig up more treasure? And if geology isn't your thing, no worries. The smoky blue ridgelines, winding rivers, and postcard-perfect trails are more than enough to keep your camera and your soul happy. The town itself is delightfully laid back. No frantic honking, no bumper-to-bumper gridlock, and absolutely no people in a rush to be anywhere. It's a take-your-time kind of place, where grocery store conversations can turn into new friendships, and your doctor might also be your neighbor, or your local fishing buddy. Franklin is also refreshingly budget-friendly, which is code for you won't need to sell a kidney to buy a house. With the median home price well below the national average, your retirement dollars actually stretch here. Kind of like yoga, but without the sore hips. And because North Carolina doesn't tax Social Security income, your wallet gets to breathe too. And let's talk safety. Franklin has low crime rates that would make big city residents weep with envy. It's the kind of town where locking your door is optional, but saying, "Bless your heart," is mandatory. If you're into mild seasons, scenic drives, craft fairs, and a good slice of mountain pie, yes, that's a thing, Franklin might just be your new favorite place to slow down, settle in, and smile a lot more often. Number 5, Mount Airy, North Carolina. If retirement for you means leaving behind stress, chaos, and 4-lane madness in exchange for simpler times and sweeter tea, then welcome to Mount Airy, North Carolina, aka the real-life Mayberry. Yes, that Mayberry. Andy Griffith's hometown and the place that inspired the iconic TV town where the only emergency was someone running out of apple pie. Mount Airy is like a warm memory that never aged. Vintage diners, barbershops, locally owned bookstores, and folks who actually make eye contact when they say hello. It's a living tribute to small-town charm with just enough modern-day convenience to keep your Wi-Fi humming. Now, if you're thinking, that sounds cute, but I don't want to live in a museum, don't worry. Mount Airy knows how to have fun. Every year they host Mayberry Days, a festival that feels like a time capsule exploded in the best way possible. There are parades, pickle-eating contests, and even look-alike contests for Barney Fife. It's as heartwarming as it is hilariously niche. Surrounded by rolling hills, orchards, and wineries, Mount Airy offers retirees plenty of ways to unwind. Whether you're into sipping a local vintage or picking apples like it's 1957, your weekends will never be boring. Unless you want them to be. Which is kind of the point of retiring, right? But here's the kicker. Mount Airy isn't just cute, it's safe. The kind of safe where the police might know your name. And not because you've done anything wrong, but because they ran into you at the farmer's market and you chatted about tomato varieties. Crime rates are low, community trust is high, and neighbors look out for one another, like it's still 1960. In a good way. The cost of living is comfortably below the national average, meaning your retirement income stretches like grandma's homemade taffy. And yes, housing is affordable. So you can own a charming home with a porch swing without taking out a second mortgage or selling your golf clubs. So, if you've ever wanted to retire in a place where time slows down, the pie is homemade, and your biggest daily decision is apple or peach, Mount Airy might be calling your name. Probably through an old-school rotary phone. Still with us? Thanks for watching this far. We've still got more cozy gems to uncover, so stick around. You won't want to miss what's next. And hey, if this video is making your dream retirement come to life, give us a thumbs up, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Restful Wealth so you never miss a new guide to peaceful living. Number 4. Greer, South Carolina. Tired of hearing that retirement is all about slowing down? Well, what if we told you Greer, South Carolina is more like cruising comfortably with the windows down and a sweet tea in hand? Welcome to a small town where the pace is perfect, not sluggish, not chaotic, just right. Nestled between Greenville and Spartanburg, aka two cities that sound like they belong in a Netflix Civil War drama, Greer manages to keep its own distinct charm. Think walkable streets, cheerful neighborhoods where the lawns are suspiciously well kept, and just enough artsy flair to keep you cultured without forcing you into an interpretive dance class. Unless that's your thing. The Greer Cultural Arts Council keeps the town lively with community theater, arts programs, and enough family-friendly events to keep your grandkids begging to visit. It's a place where retirees don't just fade into the background, they actually become part of the heartbeat of the town. Now let's talk outdoors. Lake Robinson is just a stone's throw away. Peaceful, clean, and begging you to grab a rod and try your luck at fishing. Or maybe just sit in the boat and pretend to fish while you take in the mountain views. No judgment here. And if you're someone who wants to feel seasons without, actually suffering through them, Greer checks that box. Mild winters mean your joints won't stage a protest every January, and you still get enough fall leaves and spring blooms to keep your camera roll full. Bonus points? Greer is just a quick drive from world-class healthcare in Greenville and Spartanburg. So if you need a checkup, a specialist, or just someone to remind you not to skip your annual eye exam, it's all nearby, without the traffic jams of a big city. And safety? Let's just say Greer is the kind of place where folks still wave when they pass you on the street, and the only emergency is if the bakery runs out of sweet potato pie. The crime rate is well below the national average, and the community spirit? Off the charts. So if you're dreaming of retirement in a town that balances small-town peace with just the right pinch of personality, Greer might be your next happy place. Number 3. Hampstead, North Carolina. If you've ever daydreamed about retiring near the beach, but without turning your golden years into a non-stop episode of Spring Break Geriatric Edition, then Hampstead, North Carolina is whispering your name. Politely, of course, because it's that kind of place. Just a few minutes from Topsail Beach, Hampstead gives you all the coastal beauty without the chaos of sunburned tourists doing cannonballs near your reading nook. It's like beachside retirement light. All the views, none of the volume. You can actually hear the ocean and yourself think. Walkable neighborhoods and quiet streets make Hampstead ideal for morning strolls, whether you're power walking with purpose or meandering like a curious squirrel. And don't get us started on the pine trees. Yes, this is a coastal town, but instead of beach bars every 3 feet, you'll find more greenery, calm breezes, and birds that sound like nature's ringtone for peace and quiet. Hungry? Hampstead delivers a delicious 1-2 punch. Seafood that was likely swimming yesterday, and southern comfort food that'll make you question everything you knew about biscuits. Shrimp and grits here are basically a spiritual experience. Now, for those who care about practicality, and we know you do, Wilmington's top-tier medical centers are just a short drive away. Because being close to good healthcare is like having seatbelts in a classic car. Sure, it's charming, but also safety first. And yes, the crime rate? Comfortably low. You're more likely to be caught in a heated debate over the best hush puppy recipe than any real trouble. So if you're looking to trade in the noise, crowds, and stress for salt air, quiet charm, and seafood that doesn't come in a plastic tray, Hampstead is a hidden gem worth uncovering. Number 2. Bella Vista, Arkansas. The retirement playground you didn't know you needed. Bella Vista isn't just a town. It's like someone spun the retirement wheel of fortune and landed on all of the above. 7 golf courses? Check. Lakes? Plural. Scenic trails that don't require mountain goat-level agility? Double check. Honestly, if Bella Vista were a dating profile for retirees, it'd be getting serious attention. Let's start with the obvious: 7 golf courses. That's not a typo or an exaggeration. That's one for every day of the week, so even your putter gets a varied workout. But if your idea of tea time involves herbal tea and birdwatching, Bella Vista's also got over 100 miles of peaceful trails, winding through forests, around lakes, and past deer who seem to know they're part of the real estate appeal. And here's the kicker: this place was practically built by and for retirees. Homes here aren't just affordable, they're designed with aging in place in mind. Wide doorways, minimal stairs, and layouts that make you feel seen, not sore. The vibe? Calm but not sleepy. The community is tight-knit, like your favorite pair of old jeans, comfortable, reliable, and still got some style. Local events, farmers markets, and outdoor concerts make sure you're never too bored unless you choose to be. Also, property taxes? Practically a rounding error. That means more of your fixed income stays in your pocket where it belongs, rather than being funneled into a pothole budget you'll never see results from. And did we mention the lakes? Picture sunset fishing or kayaking without needing to elbow your way through tourists or selfie sticks. Bella Vista might not shout its name from the rooftops, but for those in the know, it's the perfect mix of nature, neighborliness, and no-nonsense living. Number 1. Los Alamos, New Mexico, where brains, beauty, and safety all retire together. Welcome to Los Alamos, New Mexico, where Einstein would have vacationed if he wanted peace, quiet, and a killer view. Topping our list of safest small towns to retire, top 10 hidden gems for a peaceful retirement. This high desert gem is what happens when safety, scenery, and smarts all move into the same zip code. Let's start with the obvious flex. Los Alamos has one of the lowest crime rates in the entire country. We're not just talking petty theft. We mean crime, in general, barely bothers showing up here. If safety had a headquarters, it might just be hiding behind one of Los Alamos's trailheads. And speaking of trailheads, this place is an outdoor enthusiast's dream, with over 150 miles of hiking and biking trails, many of which begin right within city limits. You could wake up, sip your green tea, and be deep in a canyon by mid-morning. Not too shabby for a town that helped invent the atomic bomb. Yes, Los Alamos is a former Manhattan Project site, but today it's better known for its ridiculously smart residents. It's ranked among the most educated cities in the U.S. Don't be surprised if your neighbor is a retired physicist who bakes artisan sourdough and gives impromptu astronomy lessons. Also, if your retirement dreams include not sneezing every 12 minutes, good news. Los Alamos boasts some of the cleanest air and lowest pollen levels in the Southwest. That means you can breathe easy, literally, while soaking in those panoramic mountain views. The real estate market here leans a little pricier than average, but what you're getting is a community that values intellect, safety, and natural beauty. Plus, you're only about 40 minutes from Santa Fe, should you need a weekend of art galleries, upscale dining, or a refresher on how to pronounce charcuterie. So, if you're the type of retiree who values peace and quiet, but still craves meaningful conversations, clean air, and a touch of history with your hiking boots, Los Alamos might just be your final answer. That wraps up our countdown of the safest small towns to retire. Thank you for watching and sticking with us to the very end. If you found your dream town today, like this video, hit that subscribe button for more retirement wisdom, and let us know in the comments which town you'd pack up and move to tomorrow. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and enjoy your journey to restful wealth.